extreme because it is all so weird. And honestly, we could do 5 hours on this. I mean, there were so many clips. I just picked a handful of them at random. But here's Jesse Waters doing some weird shit about. He was triggered over. They did Kamala did all these Zoom calls, right? And they were huge. Hundreds of thousands of people showed up, and one of them was for white guys, and it was just called White Dudes for Harris or White Men for Harris. And they had black men for Harris and black women and white women. And so one of them was that. And here's Jesse Waters responding to it, and he's really triggered by it, which is just, once again, weird. I mean, there's no other answer to this. Oh, wait, before I jump into this. So this guy, Jesse Waters, we're about to watch, so you just saw his picture. Jesse Waters famously tells the story about how he met his wife. She was working for him, which is a little creepy. And she was, one day he basically slashed the tires on her car, so she'd have to ask him for a ride home so he could come on to her. That's how he met his wife. He hired her, and then he slashed the tires on her car so she'd have to be dependent on him to drive her home. And that's how they hooked up.
Well, that's super creepy.
Yeah, ultra creepy. This guy's ultra creepy. So we'll watch him respond to the White Dudes for Harris deal.
Now, I don't see why any man would vote Democrat. It's not the party of virtue, security. It's not the party of strength. It's definitely...
Oh, man, he's just... Hang on.
It's definitely not the party of family. And to be a man and then vote for a woman just because she's a woman is either childish, that person has mommy issues, or they're just trying to be accepted by other women. And I heard the scientists say the other day that when a man votes for a woman, he actually transitions into a woman.
Oh, is that right?
So didn't he literally just get done saying, though, that a man should vote for a man just because he's a man?
Right.
So not childish, but if a man votes for a woman just because she's a woman, that is childish. Right. So either voting for someone strictly on the basis of gender across the board is childish, or it's across the board not childish. But again, we're seeing from the right it's only bad if you do it on this side, but it's real good if you do it on this side. Like, that seems to be the super weird, to use the word again, logic that they seem to be trying to apply to all this stuff.
Well, but it would be reversed too, because this is why it's the ultimate I win, you lose game. Because let's say it was Biden and Nikki Haley. They'd be saying vote for the Indian woman. Don't just vote for Biden because he's a man. Real men don't do that. They'd be doing the opposite thing, right? It's the spoiled child response, right? It's if it's not my way, it's wrong. And it's not consistent, it's hypocritical.
And trying to bring in family values, so he says, that the Republican Party is the party of actual family values, etc. And then it flows into this men only vote for men thing. Okay, so if he's connecting these two things, voting for a woman is not voting for family values?
No, because women should not be in charge. That's how the family works. See, there's the guy, and he controls everything, and then the wife is just really property, and the children are just sort of there. That's how this works. Which is convenient how it works out for him as a guy, because it could have gone either way.
Oh my God.
It's just full of shit. No, you talk fucking family values. We're the party of family values. Trump. Really, Trump? The guy who's cheated on all of his wives. He's been married multiple times. He's been adjudicated as a rapist. He's settled out of court. He's been, 28 or 29 accusers of sexual assault? Settled out of court a dozen times.
There's one daughter that I think most of us are pretty sure he has a crush on. One daughter he completely ignores. Yeah, values.
Yeah, no, he talks. Yeah, he's talked about wanting to fuck Ivanka before. He's talked about how hot her body is and shit. Publicly. Weird stuff.
Meanwhile, he's got his other daughter across the country that he basically completely ignores. Yeah. probably so much the better for her. I don't know her feelings on the matter or whatever, but it's still not great family values, to have preferred children and for it to be super obvious.
Right. Well, Kamala has, 2 stepchildren that she's really close to. She actually gets along with her husband's ex-wife. Her husband's ex-wife came out and endorsed her. You talk about family values. How often does that happen?
I mean, those are the family values I want to sign on for.
Yeah.
Because we tend to have families, that have had divorces and whatever, and watching families that have divorces, exes that get along, current spouse and ex-spouse get along. I mean, those are the family values we want to see. Could you imagine Trump's wives and ex-wives all hanging out and having a tea party together, endorsing each other and stuff? Like, can you imagine that? I can't imagine that. I mean, I would sign up for pay-per-view to watch that all day long.
Well,
but
his current wife doesn't even sleep in the same bedroom. They don't even talk. Have you seen it? She hasn't done any of the rallies, any campaigning for him, anything at all. She's been completely void. His first wife, Ivana, but think about it, 2 of his wives, Ivana and Melania, were both Eastern European. And both of them married him basically for his wealth and a green card.
Right.
And where's Ivana now? Ivana's dead, right? And for a tax break, Trump buried her on one of his golf courses. And the grave is now just overrun. They haven't done anything, landscaping or anything, to keep it up. The mother of his 3 oldest children. Oh, yeah. This is the family values party. There's nothing fucking weird about burying your ex-wife on your golf course so you can get a tax break. Nothing fucking creepy about that at all. And furthermore, as Jesse Waters points out, if you vote for a woman, then you transition into a woman. So, I mean, there's nothing weird about that fucking statement.
I can't even manage to dig into and pick apart that statement. It's so out there to me. Yeah. It's so out there. Like, what?
Just weird shit. I think he thinks he's being funny, and it's like, no, you're just creepy, dude. You're just fucking creepy. But yeah.